I've really been enjoying watching the talking head fascists over at Fox News have their minds blown by the fact that things that normally the powers that be do to the left, they're actually doing to the right, like infiltrating their movements to watch them from the inside and possibly destroy them. Take a listen to Laura Ingraham.
And yesterday, in a separate proceeding, attorneys for the Proud Boys revealed at least 40 undercover informants were doing surveillance on the defendants that day, including 13 working in the D.C. Metro Police.
Is that enough to keep an eye on a bunch of insurrectionists who showed up at the Capitol with like a gallows and who openly discussed violence? Would 40 be enough?
New court documents claim it was those officers instigating the crowd, even yelling, "Stop the steal."
Wait a minute. If I was gonna squeeze my way into a big crowd and try to look like I was really a part of the crowd, wouldn't I do what the crowd is doing?
So if folks on the left are going to use the events of January 6th as a pretext for labeling and targeting conservatives as insurrectionists, well, guess what? You better give people the full scope of the government's involvement here. And
I am definitely going to continue to label insurrectionists because just because and if, and it remains to be seen since this is not a reliable news source, if this has any credibility at all, but just because the guy next to me is screaming, "Stop the steal," does that mean that if I scream, "Stop the steal," and bust through one of the windows and poop on Nancy Pelosi's desk, that I am not an insurrectionist? Because I think each individual is responsible for their own behavior. And if this is true, well, we all know that government intelligentsia agencies have been following leftist movements since the rise of leftist movements, trying to break them up from the inside, trying to incite violence at protests. The Black Lives Matter movement has talked about this. History talks about this. And they're doing it on the left and they're doing it on the right. Then why are we all being incited? I need to know more about this. If government actors are clearly coming in and actually inciting violence on both the left and the right, then I think there's a bigger picture here that we all have to take a look at if we can ever find the evidence for it. I'm Juliana Forlano. Leave your comments below.